morning dear students, welcome to digital classes. As we have already started our unit 7, that is P block elements, and group 15 we have started group 16, which is called chalcogen family. Chalcogen family mean it's ore forming family. It means that all these elements are ore forming, whereas group 16 members are oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. Already we have done this introduction. Once again, if we need to remind the whole family, we can remind in this way: O se tepo, O se tepo. Okay, in which oxygen, sulfur are not non-metallic, selenium, tellurium are metalloid, and polonium is radioactive metal. Okay, so basically we have started already, and in this group we are talking about atomic properties, physical properties, chemical properties, important compounds, anomalous behavior of oxygen with the other elements. So in important compounds, oxygen and sulfur. So oxygen we have already done. Now we are going to do today sulfur. In sulfur we have basically sulfur allotropes, sulfur dioxide, H2SO4, oxo acid of sulfur. So let's start. So in this sulfur family, the important compounds of sulfur, we will just discuss about the allotropes of sulfur. We will discuss sulfur dioxide. We will discuss H2SO4, which is very important. We will discuss oxo acids of sulfur. Okay, so let's start without wasting any time. The allotropes of sulfur. Dear students, as we were discussing allotropes of phosphorus, where we studied that white phosphorus, red phosphorus and black phosphorus, in a similar way there is the two allotropes of sulfur also, which is rhombic sulfur and monoclinic sulfur. Rhombic sulfur is also known as alpha sulfur, and monoclinic sulfur is also known as beta sulfur. There is a very marginal difference between alpha sulfur and beta sulfur. What is that? That is the transition temperature. One temperature, dear student, that you need to keep in your mind: 369 Kelvin. 369 Kelvin is the transition temperature, because below this temperature the sulfur is alpha sulfur, and above this this temperature the sulfur is beta sulfur. Okay, and what is the difference in alpha and beta structure, beta sulfur on the basis of structure? That is, S8 is alpha sulfur, in which it is showing that W shape structure with the bond angle 107 degree. Okay, and with bond order 204 part meter. Whereas beta sulfur, which is called cycloring sulfur, formula of rhombic is S8 and beta is S6. It is like a chair shape. So the bond angle is 102 degree, bond order is 205.7 part meter. Okay, so draw the structure and remember. Now if we will talk about physical properties, so let me zoom. Physical properties. The alpha sulfur is yellow in color with S8 formula, soluble in carbon sulfide, and it is showing crystal of alpha sulfur which is formed at specific gravity 2.06 and melting point 385.8 Kelvin. These are 8 Kelvin. These are the important data that you need to keep. Colorless, it is colorless, needle shape. Beta sulfur is stable at 369 Kelvin. Its specific gravity is 1.98. That's why I made in a box. And melting point is 393 Kelvin. Okay, this is all about the allotropes of sulfur. Now if we will talk about sulfur dioxide, mainly how to prepare sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide can be prepared by burning of sulfur in air or oxygen, where sulfur is going to oxidized, forming sulfur dioxide. In industrial preparation, it will react with iron sulfide. In the presence of 11 oxygen molecule, it will give iron oxide and sulfur dioxide. After drying, gas is liquefied under pressure and stored in a steel cylinder. Okay, if we will talk about its properties, it is colorless gas with pungent smell, highly soluble in H2O and forms sulfurous acid. When sulfur oxide will react with the water, it will form sulfurous acid. Its reaction with NaOH and Na2CO3 will give us Na2SO3, and when sodium sulfate will react with water, it will give sodium bisulfate. Okay, this is the chemical properties. Sulfur dioxide structure is forming resonance structure like ozone. As ozone, there were 3 oxygen, and in between 1 and 2 oxygen there is double bond, and 1 and 3 there is single bond. Similar way, there is sulfur with oxygen double bond one side and sulfur oxygen single bond. Which side it is single bond? It can be showing resonant. You know very well resonant. It has same formula but different distribution of electron. If we will talk about the uses, it is used in refining of petroleum and sugar mills. It is used as anti-chlor, disinfectant and preservative also. It is used in bleaching wool and silk. It is used in liquid form as a solvent in laboratory. It is used in formation of chemical like H2SO4 and sodium bisulfate also. Now dear students, most important and the third compound of sulfur is H2SO4, which is known as king of chemical also. It is commonly known as sulfuric acid. If we will talk about manufacturing, it is manufactured by contact process in which sulfur will directly react. These are the 4 steps. Sulfur will react with oxygen, will give sulfur dioxide, whereas sulfur dioxide will react further into oxidation with the help of catalyst vanadium oxide, will give us sulfur trioxide in the presence of this loss of heat. And sulfur trioxide will react with H2SO4, will give oleum. When oleum will react with water, it will rise into sulfuric acid. So we are going to explain this contact process with the help of diagram. So dear students, one picture is displaying on your screen that is related to manufacturing of H2SO4, which is also known as manufacturing of oleum. So if you will see here, manufacturing of H2SO4, generally you need to make this kind of structure. That is the diagram, and it is very important in examination point of view. You need basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chamber of same type. You can see from here this side gas will pass, and from here gas will release. From here gas will pass, from here gas will release. Gas will pass, gas will release, gas will pass, gas will release, gas will pass, gas will release, like this way. So 5 chamber you will make, in which chamber number 1 and chamber number 2. In between chamber and 1, chamber 1 and 2, there is a dust precipitator. Then between chamber number 2 and chamber number 3, there is nothing. It is simple pipe. Then chamber number 3 and chamber number 4, there is 2. One is purifier, second is preheater. Okay, then chamber number 4 and chamber number 5, there is nothing, simple pipe. So it's clear, I think. Chamber 1, 2, there is dust precipitator. Between chamber 2 and 3, there is nothing. 3 and 4, there are 2, preheater and purifier. 4 and 5, there is no chamber. After 5, there is oleum. Okay, so when you will make all these 5 chamber, most simplest structure I am telling you, first make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chamber. Then between 1 and 2 make this kind of precipitator. Then between 3 and 4 make 2 preheater. Okay, so now I am going to explain what is happening. This is a process in which oxygen is supplied, and oxygen is supplied inside the sulfur burner chamber. So first chamber is sulfur burner. This is first chamber, sulfur burner. So in sulfur burner, oxygen will supply. It will react sulfur plus oxygen. So first step is, as we have already written here, I am going to show you the first step. That is when sulfur is going to sulfur will react with oxygen. This is first step. When sulfur will react with oxygen, will give sulfur dioxide. So it is that step here. Sulfur will react with oxygen, it will give sulfur dioxide. That sulfur dioxide will pass through this pipe to the dust precipitator. In dust precipitator, the dust particle is going to be precipitate, and it will pass into the second washing and cooling tower. This is washing and cooling tower. Here sulfur dioxide is washed and after that cooled by water sprayer. Water is spraying over sulfur dioxide. It will washed and cooled. After that wastewater will release down, and the washed sulfur dioxide will pass through this pipe into tower drying. Third is tower drying, where the sulfur dioxide is going to be dry, okay, with the help of this concentrated H2SO4. And after that waste acid will release down. So next is when we are going to dry the sulfur dioxide, it will, that sulfur dioxide, now see here, sulfur dioxide will further react with O2 in catalytic chamber. Now we are going to add that catalytic chamber. So arsenic is purifying gelatinous hydrated ferric acid. Arsenic purifier will purify that sulfur dioxide, dried sulfur dioxide, and it will heat, it will increase the temperature. After that it will pass into the catalytic converter. Catalytic converter is vanadium pentoxide, which will convert SO2 into SO3. So you can see here SO2 will convert into SO3 at this release in this temperature. After this SO3 will pass into the absorption tower. where concentrated H2SO4 again is washing that SO3 component, and this SO3 will react with H2SO4, will give H2S2O7. SO3 will react with H2SO4, will give H2S2O7, which is called oleum. So here we are preparing oleum, and basically if I will talk the simple diagram, I think this is you understood. Now if I will talk simple diagram, this is the flow chart. In flow chart, sulfur will react with oxygen. It will become sulfur plus oxygen. It will give sulfur dioxide, which is this. And where it will occur? It will occur in the burner, sulfur burner. First step is burner. Second, then dust precipitator. Dust precipitator will precipitate this SO2. This is the second chamber. From dust precipitator, then it will cool down in cooling and, I can say, cooling and drying. Cooling and drying chamber. In cooling and drying chamber, from cooling and drying chamber, it will pass into the arsenic purifier. This is arsenic purifier. This is a burner, then it is precipitator, then it is, I can say, cooling and drying tower. Then after cooling and drying tower, it will pass into arsenic purifier. From arsenic purifier, it will add into testing box. From testing box, it will preheat. This is preheater. From preheater, it will pass, it will change into SO3, and that SO3 will change, preheater. From here it will as into catalytic chamber, where B2O5 is catalytic chamber. The moment SO2 will pass into catalytic chamber, it will convert into SO3. That SO3 will be now pass into absorption tower. From absorption tower, we will going to wash it with the help of concentrated H2SO4. The moment it will wash with SO3, it means that reaction will occur H2SO4 plus SO3, and it will react, it will give H2S2O7, which is oleum. When this H2S2O7 will react, when further this H2S2O7 will react with water, it will convert into 2 molecule of H2SO4, and this is the manufacturing of sulfuric acid, which is called king of acid. Hope so you understood with the help of this diagram. So this is the manufacturing of sulfuric acid that we have studied in this particular preparation. Now if we will talk about the properties, colorless, oily, dense liquid, its specific gravity is 1.84 at 298 Kelvin. It dissolved in water and evolved large amount of heat. Its volatile is low, strong acidic character. Because of this low volatile and strong acidic character, it is one of the very good reagent in our lab. This is the structure, sulfur H2SO4. So two molecule, two lone pair electrons will share oxygen and two hydrogen ions. So dibasic in nature. It is used in industrial chemical for manufacturing hundreds of other chemical, used in fertilizer, lab reagent, petroleum refining, paint, pigment, dyes, detergent, battery, electroplating, and so many others. Examples are there. Now dear students, as you know that we have done in oxygen, dioxygen, ozone, and acids of simple oxides of acid. Similar way we will do the oxo acids of sulfur also, like the way we did oxo acid of phosphorus. There also we did hypophosphorus, orthophosphorus. Here also we will do. So first we will start with the sulfurous acid. Formula is H2SO3, then H2SO4, then H2SO5. So H2SO3 is sulfurous, H2SO4 is sulfuric, and H2SO5 is peroxomono sulfuric acid. Okay, so the formula is very simple. H2SO3, and there you know there is 6 electrons are there around S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in which 2 hydroxide, 1 double bond oxygen, and 1 lone pair remain. So it means that oxygen state is +4. It is dibasic. So oxidation number, how to calculate oxidation number? In yesterday's live class I have told you how to calculate oxidation number. Once again I am going to tell you in simple way how to calculate oxidation number with one example. Let's take example of H2SO3. For example, question came, draw the structure of this. So structure is simple. There is oxygen, OH, OH. Then left what? lone pair of sulfur. This is structure of H2SO3. Now question came if oxidation number. So you know very well how to calculate oxidation number. Whose oxidation number you are calculating, that we need to underline. Hydrogen oxidation number is 1, oxygen oxidation number is -2. So we know how to calculate 2 multiply by +1 plus x minus 3 to the 6. So it means that 2 plus x minus 6, x is equal to -4. X minus 4 is equal to 0 and x is equal to +4. It means that its oxidation number is +4. Okay, and it is diabasic because 2 molecule of hydroxide side is there. So like this way H2SO4 will find H2SO5 and H2S2O3 is thiosulfuric acid. Dithionous acid is H2S2O4. Disulfuric acid is oleum H2S2O7. Then peroxodisulfuric acid is H2S2O8 and polythionic acid is H2SNO6. So it is my request, now you will practice all these structures, and if still you are facing any problem, so you please feel free to ask me. I'll try my best to explain you each and everything. Okay, so this is all about for today. Hope so you understood, and you will do yourself also self-study. Then you will make one small video of 1 minute or 2 minutes just related to today's topic. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening patiently, and it's my appeal again, please take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe, and keep enjoying these digital classes. So thank you, thanks a lot, have a nice